Hello everyone, welcome to B School Buddies. So I'm Prashant, your host, and today with us is Shyam Sundar Rathi. He's a current student, first year student at GPIMS. He's currently pursuing his MBA. And last year he was CMAT 100 percentiler, that is AIR 1, All India Rank 1. So thank you so much, Shyam, for joining us today. I'm sure this year CMAT aspirants will benefit a lot from this particular session. And of course, you're currently studying at JPIMS, but we want to know more about you. So if you can take us through the journey from the very start and how you reached here, that would be great.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prashant. Thank you so much for inviting me for this B School Buddies and for this event. I'm also glad that I'll be able to guide each and everyone. It started with CAT preparation. So, it started with a dream like I'll do an MBA. And the first and foremost thing in the dream was to do an MBA in a like tier 1B school. That was the first thing. So, I started my CAT preparation in July itself last year. And last year because yes, last year I started preparation in July itself, and the CAT happened in around November 25th, around November itself. So yeah, CAT, I gave CAT. It didn't go as much as I expected it. I scored around 91 percentile. Then I shifted to SAT. Then I shifted to NMAT. I scored and cleared the cutoff. And the last exam I gave a CMAT, in which I scored 100 percentile, and then I'm in JB. So yes, the dream of getting into a tier 1B school was fulfilled now. So yeah, this is more of or less key that I started with CAT, then gave the other entrance examinations, and now I'm currently pursuing MBA from GBMS,
Oh,
Mumbai.
great, great. Great to know that. So how did you first starting planning for an MBA? I mean, I understand that you're doing CATs that everything, but there must
Yes.
be first dream that you must be having about MBA. What was that?
So the first dream was as I pursued my BBA from Christ University, Bangalore. So as we on like the immediate plan after a BBA would be an MBA, but that was not my thing. Like in BBA itself, I thought of an MBA, but not immediately after the BBA itself. So after BBA, I did a job. I did a job in a textile firm. In a textile firm, which is an ready-made garment. So I and with that, I had a dream. Okay, I have to pursue a career um, in an organized sector and an MNC kind of setup so that I can like have a more exposure and see my career growth trajectory to move in a great manner. So that's how I started. Like that's how I dream of getting an MBA from a tier 1B school started. And that's where this CAT preparation, I got to know about the CAT. Okay, I was knowing about the CAT from my friends. Okay, then I started with CAT preparation, got into IMS Surat for this uh, itself. So yes, prepared from there itself for the CAT, and then this dream of getting an MBA started.
Got it, got it, got it. So I think most of the viewers are of course CMS focused, but there will be some future MBA aspirants as well. They must be about the maybe CAT and Z. CMAT is little new for them. So if you can just break down this exam for them, maybe a bit about exam patterns and some other details, job colleges which we can get from CMAT and all.
Got it, got it. Okay, I would say that CMAT is a 3 hour examination. So last time it happened in May itself, but this time it's happening on 25th January. So they have preponed the examinations by 4 months. Okay, that would be nice because last time there would be acceptance in colleges and many things which are not in line with the examination. So yeah, the CMAT is a 3 year examination which consists of 5 subjects, which is mostly quants, verbal, LRDI, then this GK, and the fifth new subject for most of the aspirants is innovation and entrepreneurship. So, and each subject has 20 questions, and the marking scheme is +4 and -1.
Were already preparing for CAT and Z, but how did you specifically start in preparing for CMAT and then how you prepared for different sections?
Okay, so as my journey started with CAT, so most of the time, like for quants, for LR, for quants is more or less it is a LOD one type of question. Level of difficulty in the examination is very easy to moderate in comparison to CAT because the questions are being easy and on the easier side. And for the verbal and for LR is mostly based on the puzzles and mostly it is on kind of puzzles which is not similar and which is very different from LRDI I used to. So there are very limited concepts in LRDI in CMAT. Like there are around 15 to 20 concepts which includes like different types of arrangements. Then there is a new terminology which is a decision making approach kind of thing. So there is a action like course of action. What could be the next further course of action of this situation, or otherwise this LRN arrangements. So what I did was I used to practice. So I used to get one topic a day. Then I used to prepare, like I used to solve around 40 to 50 questions of that topic, and mostly the concept was getting got clear, like about the cubes, about the dice. So these concepts were cleared with that itself. Like I used to pick up the topic around solve around 50 to 40 to 50 question for each topic in LR, and that concept used to get clear in that itself. Since for verbal, it started with like I started preparing for CAT in March of July. So most of my basic concepts were clear during that exam itself. Then I gave that, which helped me strengthening my verbal, because I used to practice around 7 to 8 hours for almost a month for that itself. And in the meanwhile, I brushed up the old concepts. Then I gave an NMAT, and which helped. And there, those puzzles for LR and for puzzles for this LR arrangement questions, these all came into. So I prepared for this, and the actual preparation of CMAT started in month of March, when the form registration got over, or around that time itself. So I started my preparation in March. Like I started with brushing all the old concept, which were about each ratio, about arithmetic, about algebra, modern maths, then about this geometry, probability, permutation, combination. Each of these questions I covered, and the basics of these all questions I prepared, so that I can brush up all the questions and get the gist of all the basic things which are in each of the topics. Then I started giving the mocks for this examination for quants. I had this IMS preparation material. There I used to give sectional wise mocks for each of these subjects. So I started with cons, then then for the verbal with RC preparation, then I started with overall vocabulary, which started with Hindu. So I started reading the Hindu newspaper more often than before. Then I used to see if there are any new jargons or new words. Also, there is a book. There is a book which is Power Verbs by Norman Lewis. uh,
Yeah, that
Mostly
is
if I'm
word
not
power
wrong,
made easy.
it's Word Power Made Easy. Yeah, that is Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. So I used to refer the new vocabulary words or my idioms, phrases from this book itself. But this book is very vast enough so that you can't cover each and every topic of this book. But I used to pick up a certain number of topics, then I used to read all those pages and get through this. Like if there is something I feel important, or at that I used to make the notes, and in weekly I used to revise those notes for both verbal and for both LR, so that if there is any specific question which is new to me, so that I remember those question and I don't forget it. And for GK, there are in GK there are two sections. First of all is the static GK, and other is a current one. So for static GK, I started with there is an in YouTube there are two to three channels. I started with this Kraku. So I completed this 1000 question playlist last year itself. Around three times I did watch this YouTube and got to know like most of the questions and what are these related to. And the other thing was also there is Ronak. So I used to refer then, and the Telegram channel have the PDF of comprehensive, which is country, currency, capital, or what are the different summits which are being in the market, or what are different Asian regions, just a SARC, or what are different days. So from January to December, what are each specific days which are important. So there's a World Hindi Day, which is on 10th of January. There is a World Health Day, which is on 7th of April. So I used to read all those GK, and there was I had this comprehensive PDF of around uh, 60 to 70 pages, which has almost every static GK. Like it is vast enough to be covered, but I had this PDF, so I used to go through this PDF almost every day till the exams. So I referred this PDF for a month till the exam, so that I know, because GK you can't remember. Like for quants, if you solve one question, you'll remember that most probably it's a concept. But GK all there are so many notes, and there is so much material to remember that you can't do it in a day or a two or a week before. So you have to do it consistently so that you remember that and you just go through that. And for innovation and entrepreneurship, I had this advantage that in my third year of specialization in Christ University, I had this subject innovation and entrepreneurship and the innovation and entrepreneurship itself. So most of my theory part was covered during that time itself about the pre-sale, starting phase, or the decline, maturity, growth. All these concepts were previously covered. So when I started with this innovation entrepreneurship, this was kind of an easy thing for me. And other than that, Lokesh Agarwal and both Ronak Shah had their different playlists on this YouTube and Academy channel, and I used to make notes to remember me and to remember all these concepts. And other than that, and recently there is also a pattern that they ask about what are the different government policies, which is Make in India, when did it started in the startup, or which are any unicorns or any upcoming unicorns and how many unicorns are being made. So those were in which industry, which sector. So those were the recent questions. How many startups were there built? How many startups got unicorn, listed unicorn last year, last to last year? So these were the types of question I used to get around. These were the question I used to prepare for innovation and entrepreneurship. And there are around 3 to 4 questions which came for around revolving these topics. So this is how I prepared for these 5 subjects mostly.
Got it, got it. I think there's some misconception in the market about the innovation and entrepreneurship section as well. So is it counted in percentile? Is it not counted? Is there anything specific that candidates need to know about this particular section?
No, no, no. CMAT generally takes in these subject and the equal and it gives equal importance to all those 5 subjects, and your marks are calculated according to that. So you get each and every percentile, and the accumulated percentile you get has the percentile and has the grades for all those topics and subjects. So you can't just leave one topic or you can't leave one subject and thinking that it's percentile is not calculated. It is calculated. So yeah.
Got it, got it, got it. So I think you've covered all sections very well. You can also maybe tell aspirants that how many mocks did you give and how crucial are these mocks for aspirants.
Okay. For I would say specifically not for CMAT, but I'll start with CAT. So for CAT, I gave around 13 to 14 mocks, and after that, I used to analyze. So I used to analyze those mocks for around 2 to 4 hours, and then I used to once again solve those questions in a time manner so that I am through with that question. And for each and every examination forward that I used to follow these. I used to follow the strategy. So I gave around 5 to 6 mocks for NMAT for that, and for CMAT I gave around 7 mocks, 6 to 7 mocks. And with each mock, I used to improve so that there is. So if I would tell about the innovation and entrepreneurship theory, most of the time, so it started this subject has been started around for 4 to 5 years. So there is a certain pattern in the theory which you can see that there is a seed funding question or there is a terminology. So if you go through the notes or go through the previous year questions, so you can see that pattern and you can prepare well according to that pattern. So I used to see the previous year question used to solve, and with that I used to give the mocks, and the mocks were of IMS itself. So I gave around 6 mocks from IMS to strengthen my strategy. And without those mocks, I used to improve.
So, I mean, now there's just
Yes.
1 week left for CMAT 2025 now. Any specific
Yes.
tips you want to give to aspirants that they can do maybe in this last 1 week?
Okay, so first of all, I would say the CMAT is not related to any other different examination. It is related in a manner that it has some of the same subjects, but keeping in the mind the time constraint, you don't stress about the timing as you stress about the timings and you stress about the concepts in CAT. Like you have 40 minutes for each section, and there are total 3 sections. But in this, there are 5 sections, and you don't have a time limit for each and every section. My paper got over around 50 minutes before the time because I didn't have to stress on the timing, but I have to stress on how many questions I'm getting correct. So I started my paper pattern. What I used to give was this. practical, theory, practical. So I started with quants, then I used to move to GK, then I solved LR, then I used to solve this innovation entrepreneurship, and lastly, I used to give the verbal section. So this was my strategy to give, so that my mind is always engaged, and it's not only a theory part, it's not only a practical part.
Sham, once you're done with your CMAT, were you sure of getting such a great percentile, or just came at as a surprise to you?
So one thing I had in my mind about that is like my preparation for I would recommend for each and every aspirant that you can't aim for getting an 100 percentile or 99.9 percentile. Like you can't be sure, because mostly it's on that day itself that how many questions are you getting correct, or how many questions you are getting at that time. Because maybe you are getting very good score in mock, but if you are stuck in any one question or in particular any one section in that on that day, or if you are able to solve two more questions on that day, like you were getting around 310 or 300 in the mocks, but if on that day you are able to solve more questions, then your strategy completely changes on that day. So my preparation was around 99.5 percentile. Like when I completed my CMAT examination and before the raw score was released, uh, I thought that I would be in top 200, top 300 takers, because my paper went well. And after that, when because on the YouTube itself, like most of the YouTube channel and different sir or different sir and different professor used to release the score, like what is the expected question right answer for that question. So according watching those videos, and after the raw score was released, my expectation went more higher, that now I thought I will be in top 50 now. Okay, I was getting closer to my dream, but okay, not very close. So when the solutions were released and I completed my raw score, like this was my raw score, I was expecting a top 50 rank. But then when the normalization score reappeared, because two of my questions which were wrong in GKs, particularly in that section, which which was wrong from CMAT side. Like they gave two correct answer in innovation. That was one question, and in GK. So I'm not sure. Like so, those were my wrong questions. But on that day, and that thing played well. So I got these two questions right, which were wrong on my hand. So my score directly jumped to around 350. So now I was sure that I would be in top 15, not top 50, but top 15. But being in 100% and getting AIR one, I was just in a complete shock when I just saw the scorecard. Like I refreshed and I re-downloaded the scorecard for around 3 to 4 times when this score was released. As no one would believe that they got 100 percentile AIR one. Like I was in complete shock when my mother was also sitting beside me. They're like, again, nahi, 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 ek baar I have to check. No, I have to check once again. Then I got logged out and I logged in, fill in my credentials. And then once again, I did check, okay, what is the status? Then I checked around 3 to 4 times. And then when I got assured, okay, now I am, I have scored 100 percentile. Okay. I got All India rank one, because you get the rank in CMAT. Then I was relieved, and then I told to my mom, and she was like completely happy, okay, out of the world. And there was a mixed feeling, like of emotion, as the struggle started with cat, and this struggle ended when my CMAT score was released. So now I was like, okay, now I'm the top of the world. Okay, now I'm very happy. Okay, these are my marks. I finally scored it and I finally made it, because one thing I was sure that when you are this close to these marks, then uh, as a JBMS strategy, like they get the admission on terms of merit. So there was no GTPS. So now I was very sure that okay, uh, I am going to JBMS now. So yeah, that was a complete shock for me when I got 100 percentile. Like I didn't expect. There was a lot of luck, there was a lot of things, lot of guidance, a lot of prayers, wishes from me, from my family members. Everything worked on that, because you can't just predict it and you get an 100 percentile. It is always, most of the times, the hard work, and on the top of the hard work, most of the time it's about luck. It's about the guidance, it's about prayers, unfulfilled wishes that help you and fetch you that score.
Definitely, definitely, and of course, this must be a proud moment for not just for you, but for your parents, your friends, and everyone who know. So
Definitely.
definitely. So,
Yes.
I mean, again, once someone is done with the CAT, what do you think? What should be the next step for aspirants based on what score they are getting? What kind of colleges they can get for their CMAT score?
Through CMAT, so through CMAT, the top colleges are, first of all, you get JBIMS, which the cutoff for which for the all India category students gets down to around 99.99. So I'm a all India category student. I'm from Surat, Gujarat. So my cutoff was around 99.99. My last cutoff used to get. Then the other B school you can target is Simsri, Sidnam, which is near JBMS itself. Like it's a very close proximity. The other top college is Wellinger. Then there is Pumba. Then there is uh, Pumba, Wellinger, Simsri, JBIMS, and I'm just KJ Sumaya. You can get KJ Sumaya. So these are most of the time the top
Got,
five colleges you get through CMAT.
got it, got it. Of
Also,
course, as you said,
IMT
GBM,
Nagpur.
yeah, yeah. I'm T Nagpur. Okay, got it, got
Yeah.
it. And as you said, GBMS is one of the best colleges that you can get through
Yes.
CMAT. And of course, you're currently studying at GBMS. So, how is it feeling? Is it even worth the hard work that you have done for CMAT?
Yeah, completely. It's all worth it. When I am into GB, like when you get into IM, it's all the IM and tags. So when you are in JB, you are a Bajaj student. You are a Bajajite. So completely worth it. The When I entered into, I was like, okay, this red building, this had because these are the pathways through with Ajay Piramal, Uday Kotak, these all great personalities passed out. So when you enter that college, when you have achieved that, completely it's all worth it about the professors because we have Bowman Muradi and God of Operations who is a full-time faculty at JBIMS. So when you get learning from those professors and each and every day you are grateful for getting into good and you are grateful and you are just happy enough that okay now you have made it and it's all worth it at the end of the day.
Got it, got it. So, I think these were the only questions from our end. Anything else you wish to say to the viewers?
Okay, I think most of the part I've covered, but I would just say that don't be stressed as if you had bad cat or bad ZAD examination, but there is still a scope and still a very good B school which you can enter into, which is JBIM's second ROI based college in India after FMS. So you can you can secure a seat here through CMAT, and also there is other examination which is CET. So you must prepare well for this examination. You can't stress out on the other aspects as well that if about the moderate or hard difficulty level as these paper and these examination they are kind of moderate to easy. Like if I would rate cat 10 on 10 on a level of difficulty scale, then I'll rate CMAT around 4 5. It is that easy. So but yeah, you have to fetch that percentile like 99.99 or 100 percentile to get into JBIMS. So that requires a lot of hard work and dedication. So yes, it will be worth it at the end of the day, and just prepare well, strategize well, and also just refer all the things. Don't miss out on the basic concept. Like if you are reading all like a probability, so if you have left probability, like just don't read each and every concept and brush up each and every basics of all, because there would be one basic question of probability, but if you have not studied it you will not be able to do it, and then the other candidate who has done it, then he will be more he will be like he will have a greater advantage because there is kind of uh there is kind of a competition which is on a 1-1 question. Like you miss out one question or you get one question correct, it it affects the score completely. Like you get the ranks shift from 1 to 10, 10 to 50 with that one or two questions getting right or getting wrong. So you can't just uh, let hold, or you can't just be frank in each and every preparation. Like you have to be hard work, you have to have hard work enough so that you are able to you are able to complete the basics of all. you're able to revise well. And for different section, I would say for GK, just completely revise all the different things which I mentioned about the dates, about Indian equality, about uh, Asia Pacific. There's SARC. Then these are the specific look like regional bodies, or about different rights like 21A, which is right to education. These are the basic concepts which are being repeated. Art forms, dance form, capital currencies, which are being repeated each and every year. So you can't miss out on those questions. So you have to build your base with that questions, and then you can move forward for the other section. So yes, just don't stress out. You have a lot of time, and for CMAT, just revise what you have done in past. And like these are simple tips. I would just say that uh, and strategize your mocks accordingly, so that you just don't plan, or and also give mocks. Mocks are very important. So uh, CMAT should not be your first mock, or CMAT exam on that day should not be your first mock to give.